Hi, I'm Patty.
I'm Kim Michelle.
And I'm Jill. Welcome to our podcast. It's a great day to talk.
Because honestly, what day isn't a great day to talk?
So join us in our conversation.
A Great Day to Talk is brought to you by St. George Design, offering complete website design, social media management, search engine optimization, Google and Facebook ad management, and many other digital and print marketing services. stgeorgedesign.com. And by Richardson Brothers Custom Homes, third-generation builders who have been building custom homes in southern Utah for over 25 years. They will take your dream home from concept to completion. Contact richardsonbrothers.com. The April Gates Group and Zion Canyon Real Estate have been specializing in helping southern Utah clients buy and sell property for over 18 years. We can help you too. Call or text April today. 435-632-8869. 435-632-8869.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to A Great Day to Talk. I'm Kim Michelle, and I'm here with my beautiful blonde and blue-haired lady, my good friend, Miss Jill.
Hello, all of you.
Oh, look, she is talking and attempting to post at the same time.
I feel like I'm about a step ahead of Patricia, really, as it turns out.
Yeah. So we don't have our lovely redhead with us here tonight. So sending our love to her and best wishes.
Love you, Patricia.
Yeah, for sure. The first thing that we want to do on tonight's podcast is we just want to acknowledge two of our sponsors, Richardson Brothers Construction and also the April Gates Group. We just finished our parade of homes here in St. George. If you have never experienced a parade of homes, that is so sad
for you.
You should travel to somewhere that does a parade of homes. So St. George does one. Salt Lake does a beautiful one. Utah County, I believe, does one.
Yes, they do.
I don't know if it's a uniquely Utah kind of situation. I don't know that.
Honestly, don't have the answer to that either. But
I am going to find
imagine.
out because I love parade of homes. And if I can
Let's
use
see.
that as the justification to fly around the country to
Let's
see
look and
everybody's
see.
parade of homes, then Scott, book us a ticket.
Is Parade of Homes exclusive to Utah?
Yeah, we're going to find out.
Oh, look at
Anyway,
all the
we
typos.
just finished the Parade of Homes here, so we can actually travel on our streets again. Oh, what have you found
I
out? Is there one in
that-
like South
that
Carolina?
It is held in several regions throughout the United States. Alternative known as the Tour of Homes in some locales. It's often associated and presented by the local home builders association or building industry. And the tours are listed under the Parade of Homes showcase homes, both new construction and remodeled homes. Homes generally include single-family homes, condominiums, duplexes, and townhomes. Seriously, the first one was held in 1948.
1948.
There you go. In the
so-
Twin Cities of Minnesota.
Oh, really?
Minnesota.
Well, I don't want to go there unless it's in the summer because
Agreed.
it's way too cold.
Agreed.
Yeah. Well, it's spring. It's too hot in the summer, so it's got to be spring or fall. But anyway, nonetheless, we just had our beautiful one down here.
Yes.
Salt Lake and Utah County will have theirs later in the year when it's a little bit warmer for them. And I believe there were 21 homes, and Richardson Brothers had
Was
one.
One of the beautiful
Oh, my
pieces
gosh.
out
There-
near Sand Hollow
Yeah.
Resort. Yes.
Mhm. And had a for real casita. It's one of the few that had a actual for real kind of
Yes.
casita, which I really appreciated, and had the most beautiful in the kitchen, had a regular bar, but then also had this separate one just for seating that could seat on both sides. I think it could seat 16. I think it
was
could
so-
seat 8 on each side.
Well, and you
and
could
it was
tell-
beautiful.
Yeah, you could tell that it was for entertaining.
Yeah.
And it was also, the owner is a single guy, single gentleman. And it was really a home where you could have your friend, he could have his friends over.
Yeah.
And I loved how it was custom to that. I really did, because a lot of the homes, some of them are for sale, some of them are already pre-sold, and in this case, this was really personalized, and I really liked that. I liked the elements of the backyard. Did you notice that it was a surfboard that was the bar top? that,
Yeah.
this one sat on the golf course on the, it's a championship golf course. And so they could sit at the surfboard.
And actually on the patio out off of the kitchen area, which also had a pool table where maybe somebody might have put a dining room table.
If
that had
that
an amazing,
thing,
because that's what this, how this person is going to use theirs. Off that patio, they had reinforced the roof line of that, so you could actually go up on top of there and then
sit out.
It was a total additional entertainment area.
Yeah, it was great.
And the views and setting out there is absolutely stunning. So, I mean, that was delightful. And then April Gates Group had their home.
Gosh.
And that home had the highest ceilings, I think.
They were incredible.
But it still felt warm and
Yes.
inviting,
Yes.
but the rooms were so large and spacious, but also so inviting. It was absolutely gorgeous.
Was April there when you guys went through?
She was.
And so did she take you on a tour through it?
She didn't, because when I went there was a potential buyer.
Purchaser. Okay.
So, of course,
she had to do business.
and that's what I would want her to do.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was the craftsmanship in that house was incredible. And things that we notice, but we don't really notice that we notice until we go, oh, wow, look at the difference. The craftsmanship in that house was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And the cabinets and the woodworking of the cabinets and the way the grain flowed through across. I mean, it was all horizontal. And so all of the grains matched up across the entire bank of cabinets, which then matched up across the entire bank of cabinets on the connecting wall. And it was so beautiful. And for a home that was a much more modern design than what is my preference, it, like you said, it felt really homey and really comfy, cozy.
It really just was. And one of the reasons why I love to go all the time is because every time you go, there are little things. I mean, these homes ranged, I think, from about 699,000 to 6 million. Yeah. And
Don't
choke. I did put an offer on the 6 million
with my teacher salary.
But I was rejected. I guess my offer on my teacher salary was way too low. But even in that home, there are things that you can look at and go, oh. Right. So, I mean,
and how would that work at my house?
I really want to remove the carpet that's in our great room.
Yeah.
But it's up against stone, and I don't want to really replace my stone. I like the stone
of the fireplace,
but I know of my flooring in my dining room.
Right? The slate.
Yes.
Stone.
But I don't really want to replace that. But it's going to butt right up against that.
Yeah.
So I don't want to continue the stone either. I want something a little warmer, but I don't know that I want to go with carpet.
Did you see it somewhere?
I saw, even in April's, I saw stone right butted up against wood, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. So every time I saw it, I took a picture.
Oh, that's so great.
Because it really let me visually see how that could be done in a way that would really work.
Yeah.
And so that's why I love to go, is to support the people that I love that have put a lot of work and effort into those homes. But also it just gives you such amazing ideas. And sometimes, unfortunately, my husband goes with me and then sees something like the steak ager, which now he has to have.
Right.
Which is like a little mini refrigerator that you put your steaks in, and it ages them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. I never even knew that was a thing.
I do that all the time. I put them in the fridge. And they sit there until they look a different color. Is that and they're aged, sniff. Right? At that point, you sniff them,
right?
And then you're like, "Ew, I don't know if I'm cooking this steak." Right?
I'm telling you what, Judd always cringes. He likes to go too, but I come away with so many ideas and so many thoughts and things that I want to do. And of course, right now, because I'm on this, we've been in our house built by Richardson Homes almost 21 years ago. And we've been in this house that they built for us. And is some things need to be updated
Yeah.
because, we've raised our family in it and it's all original. So that just tells you how well everything is held up. But long story short is that I've been in this, I want to bump out the back of the house and I want to redo the kitchen. And whenever we go to those, Judd's kind of like, put your blinders on. But there's so many things, like you said, that it's just unbelievable.
We had a different topic, but I think we got to go with this.
Yeah.
Because we're feeling it. So, and I think it's natural, right? You nest in your home.
Yeah.
And then there's possibilities that can come from when you see something that's new or different, that you don't have to leave where you are necessarily. You can look at where you are and say, how could I bring some of that to where I am?
It's absolutely true.
Yeah.
It's absolutely
so
true.
If you bumped out the back, what would you do there?
So
just play along.
Play along, folks.
Everyone who's listening, just play along.
And those of you that know my house layout, which, by the way, when Riley built our house, he was such a great sport because when we did the house plans, Julie, our architect, was so great. I'm really into it's feng shui, and I really want things to flow and to create good spaces and all of that good stuff. So Riley and Julie were such great sports with all of that. So our house back, on the back of the house, there is the big family, not big. It was big when the boys were little. Family room, kitchen, dining area,
and kitchen.
And then kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
When the boys,
so a lot of you can envision that, even though you don't know her house,
Yes.
your house probably
Might
has
have
a
that
similar
same layout. Right.
back line.
right.
Yeah, of your
And
house.
the back light. And we have, ours is a 2-story. So there's a full floor above that back line. So what I would love to do is to back out that back portion of the house. Originally, I wanted to do the entire thing, which in the grand scheme of things, that would be my ideal world. And I also have to be realistic because we have, home prices now that are like California home prices.
Yeah.
So instead of doing the whole thing, it would be the kitchen and the dining area, and bump that out anywhere between 4 to 8 feet. And there's several reasons for wanting to do that. Well, we have adult children now.
Yeah.
And adult children with significant others. And
one day.
I don't know that that's going to happen until Max gets to that point in life. But the thing about Ethan and his girlfriend is that they love to cook.
Yeah.
And they are fantastic chefs. And I say chef, not loosely. I mean, they really are. They like to make really, really gourmet and interesting
And you have kind of
meals.
a U-shaped kitchen.
We have,
and then you're
yes.
dining.
Right. So we've got the island, then it turns to the right and the sink, and then it turns to the right and the stove, and then the fridge. So it's kind of this U-shaped in there. There's no room.
Yeah.
And so I want to push that out so that when everybody's home and those that are enjoying the cooking piece, and we can all gather in that gathering room, because really what we know is that family time happens in the kitchen.
It does. It just
right? And
does.
your kitchen is fantastic for that.
Love it.
Fantastic
yes.
for that. So that's what I would like to do. And so I see things all the time. And I when I go to the parade, we've been going to the parade for as long as we've lived here, I really think. And so it's 20 years of watching this progression of not only technology, but creativity and craftsmanship. My tongue still stuck in my retainer. It's so lame. I can't get my tongue out of it. Anyway, the craftsmanship.
I'm going to say it for her.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Pause,
that's what good friends are for.
Right. Is unbelievable. It really is.
It really
and
is.
April's the people that did April's were
Jensen's.
amazing Jensen's Builders.
Yeah.
It was amazing as well.
Yeah.
So it's such a grand thing for us. We get a pretty big onslaught from out of towners that come to see this, which is a fantastic thing, because not only is it such a draw for our community, but for our tourism and for our builders and for our community, it's a great thing to showcase and show off why those of us that are here are still here.
Yeah. Why we love it so much. Even in our summers, which will get very, very hot.
Yeah.
But that's why we put up with it, I think.
Yeah. Don't you think of our summers more like winters in other areas?
No, everywhere you live, you're probably going to have 3 months that you are not
unless you're
going to be outside all the time.
Yeah,
Right. Unless you're in one of those couple communities where it's year round, the climate is pretty much the same.
Right. But all of my people in New York and all my people back east, I've always, when they've tried, I just bit my lip again. Sorry. When they've Katie used to try so hard to get us to move back to New York. And I would say, look, I don't have to dig my car out of a snowbank where the snowplow has plowed me in.
Yeah.
I don't have to freeze to death and not be able to get enough layers. I am content to go from air-conditioned building to air-conditioned building, and it's not a big deal
because that's
to me.
what it is. You're everything here. I mean, up north, which can have days as hot as it is here.
Yeah.
They might not have them in a row as often as we do, but even now, pretty much,
with
it
the
really
way our
is.
climates have changed.
It really is.
Right.
So up north, but not everything up there has already been designed to withstand that kind of heat. Here, everything that is built really is air conditioned. Pretty much, yeah.
Most everything. Well,
unless you go to my high school in the summer, air conditioning technically. The equipment still exists, but everything is turned off. So if you go to work in your classroom
during the summer,
which
we do,
I have attempted to do both summers, you are sweating in a pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I don't know how the custodians work. In it, really.
I don't either, because the air conditioning is off and you are sweating within moments. Yeah. But unless you're doing athletics, which really even then they just kind of start early in the morning, where they start them late at night. Yeah.
Yeah, you adapt. And I really, honestly, again, I would much rather walk from air-conditioned building to air-conditioned than
well, I know when Scott talks about when we were making our move back
from
here,
California to here.
Well, when we were originally leaving up north, and he was giving away those last snow shovels, and he was so happy about that, because you never have to shovel sunshine.
Yeah,
that's his.
That's his thing.
That's his comment. So when people ask him about the heat, that's kind of his response, and I think that's true. Every place is going to have their 3 months. My oldest son,
or longer.
Right. He would take the 3 months of the winter because he loves it.
Right.
So, but not so much me.
It's interesting because I think a lot of my students that were raised here much prefer rainy days and snow.
Yeah.
My own boys being a prime example of that.
Yeah, but they don't live in it for like 4 or 5 months.
That's the thing. That's not their life experience, right? Yeah. And they haven't had to do the things like walk out and you have to be to your office in 20 minutes because you're close enough, and to see that the snowplow has plowed 3 feet of snow against the side of your car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, there's give and takes in everywhere. Yeah. But this is the give that I'm okay with.
But we were happy to see everybody here, and I thought everything flowed really nicely. And
it was great. Even despite the fact that we had some unusual
kind of weather,
cold weather down here. Yeah. Usually there's like 2-ish days during the parade where it rains, but this time we had more than that. And in conversation with some of the builders and some of the houses that we went to, they said, "Yeah, but." The people that wanted to come and that were really interested still came, and they've had really good turnout as far as sales and interest and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Scott and I have always gone, and he's, as most of you have, if you've been following us at all, know he's ill.
Yes.
And so we didn't go to as many, but he did come out and he didn't go into all of them. We probably only went to 5 or 6 maybe, but he went into a couple of them. The one with the steak ager and where
just the one that you needed him to see.
Yeah, just the one that had that one thing. I mean, at least they could have done is warned me in print that was going to be in there, and I would have known not to take him into that one.
Let's hide this with a towel.
Yeah. But they were lovely, what we saw, really. Just beautiful. People were gracious, and just saw some beautiful ideas. The landscaping was just gorgeous on the properties.
All of it. I couldn't have, and we didn't see all of them either because we had some other commitments on both weekends, but we got to as many during the week as we could. And boy, I sure enjoyed it.
And I loved that so many of them were really focused on creating moments for gathering, whether that's with friends, whether that's with families. It was really about creating these spaces for gathering. And I loved that so much.
Which is what I want to bump out the back of my house.
Yeah,
so
I
that
totally
we can gather
can.
in the kitchen.
I'll help you.
Would you? Sledgehammer it? I think we can totally pull it off.
We can start this week.
Well,
I mean,
YouTube
what's
it, for
Judd
sure.
gonna say, Judd? Once we've sledgehammered out the back, I mean, you're kind of committed at that point.
Here's the thing: he's running a 55K this weekend.
Oh,
we
then
could get it knocked out while they're gone.
Yeah, done.
All right?
Done deal. I'll be there. Yeah, with my really sore arms but I can hire some people. Brandon will come.
Oh my gosh, Brandon and
Sean, they'd come.
I'll buy pizza
for sure. Well, for sure done then.
I love it. I love it.
One of the ones that I loved had kind of bumped out the front, not a lot, but and had windows
all the way to the top.
All the way.
That's the one that was out
top.
in Washington Fields. Yes.
Yes.
That one had the kitchen right in those great big
tall windows. Oh my gosh. It was it probably was only an additional 4 feet maybe of living space, if even that it was bumped out. But it gave the front facade some texture
and dimension.
Yeah. But so it looked great on the outside. On the inside, looking out, it was just absolutely stunning. So I've already found 3 different locations in my house that I could put those kinds of windows.
I already know where that would be.
You do?
I do. So it would be where your Christmas tree usually is.
Yes.
And it would be at the back on the side.
Yep.
And
this one might be a little harder.
It wouldn't be your bedroom. It would probably be on the other side of the door. So on the north side of the entry.
Yeah. So it would be that guest room there. And I would bump that out with those really tall windows because then that would feel really luxurious in that guest room there.
And I want to in the bump out, I want to do those floor to ceiling sliding doors.
Aren't those amazing?
That's what I want to do. And the thing that I learned in April's house was that to do them so that they're so seamless. I loved how so many of the houses were just seamless from one room to the next, even though they changed the flooring. But with those floor to ceiling glass sliding walls, which essentially are sliding glass doors, but they're just an entire
they're a wall
of glass, right?
It's just stunning.
I always think of my nephew, Jonah.
Yeah.
And his wheelchair, and how that would be such a transition in the house that April hosted and is selling. They have dug down in underneath the door so that the base work of the door is flush with the floor and the cement on the outside on the patio. So it's a smooth transition, and you don't get hung up or trip on the window door frames.
Yeah.
So I want those on the back of my house. Even though our backyard is west facing, I still have always wanted those just for the openness and the view and the sunlight.
Yeah.
So
It was
anyway.
stunning. And I was like, I could never do that because really it is a wall. You're
Yeah.
moving a wall when you're opening that. And I'm like, I am old now, even though I am very strong. I am not very strong, but
You are strong and you're not old.
right. I would
you.
never be able to open those doors. Actually,
They're not hard.
They're not
No.
hard at
No,
all.
they're on such tracks that
Yeah.
it's so smooth.
I loved that house too because Brandon lives with us and he probably is counting the days till he can be on his own, although he's chained to the house. So
He
that's
doesn't
going to
get
be
to,
hard for him.
as it turns
but
out.
that home, you could, it's so set up that you could have somebody living on the whole other side of the house.
Yeah, did
and
you
that
see that
whole wing.
That whole full
They'd have their whole
second
own
master
space and
Yeah, the full
own
second
family
master.
room,
Yep.
everything.
Yep.
But you're still sharing your common space, your kitchen, so you still
Have
see each
time
other.
together,
You
yeah.
still can cook together. You can still share meals together,
And-
but have really what you
Yeah.
feel like is your own separate
right,
spaces.
and
It
that
was
in
just
Riley's,
beautiful.
in Rick and Riley's, that was the thing that's so cool because it had that like second master in the middle
Mm-hmm.
of the house, but it was a full wall window.
That was so.
That was
I couldn't
I
figure
mean,
that
it was
out at
like-
first.
I know, and you couldn't really see into it, but you could definitely see out of it, and then it was directly in line with the full glass wall.
Yeah.
Sliding on the back.
Yeah, so let me explain that for the viewers, for our listeners. So Scott, that's you that I'm explaining it to. So, and maybe Stephanie, maybe my sister
Maybe.
Stephanie. So, their home in the middle, kind of where the family room, and then they had this beautiful seating bar there, and then their kitchen. Right there was another beautiful master, and it had this window that you could tell was a window. You couldn't see through to what was on the other side, but you could tell it was a window. And I thought, like, who is spying in there on what's going on? And do I really want to know what's going on in this space? So, but then when you go back around in that room, you can tell that they can totally see
through the glass.
the window that's been created there. They
That's
can
huge.
see through. Yeah, it's huge. It's the full size of the room.
Right.
You can see through that, through the glass, which is their sliding glass doors, out to the back, so that you have the same full view
Right.
of as
Anywhere else
that
in the house.
anywhere else in the house.
Minus the
It was
casita.
so
Yep.
smart.
Yeah, it was really great.
Yeah,
was
it was
great.
so smart.
We
yeah.
loved it. So again, that's Richardson Custom Homes, and we have our dear April Gates and her group. And if you're ever interested in any ideas or selling or buying or just getting an idea about what's available out there, can't recommend these two enough.
Yeah. And if you live somewhere where they probably maybe can't get to you,
Yeah.
then it doesn't still stop you from dreaming about, I mean, let's face it, we spend a lot of time in our homes. So however you're nesting your home, you deserve to be able to spend a little bit of time and energy nesting what that looks like.
Yeah.
Because we spend, other than work, and for some more than others, but other than work, that's probably where you're spending the majority of your time.
Yeah.
So investing some time to create that space that when you walk in it, you know, you feel energized by your home in a comforting way, not like you have to get up and do work,
Right.
but that it fills your spirit in a certain way.
Right.
Like my backyard can do that,
Your backyard is
especially
incredible.
as the spring starts
Uh-huh.
to, Scott's like, so it's still February. I mean, I know it's March now, but last week it was still February.
And
Yesterday was February.
Yes, yesterday was February.
And an exceptionally long.
Yeah, I mean, it just rained
February.
all night, which
Yep.
was lovely. I wrapped Scott up in his electric blanket and a little beanie and turned his electric blanket on and then opened my door.
Oh, wow.
Because it was
Yeah,
it was
the
raining
sound of it
so
all.
beautifully last night that I just had
to
to
have
experience that, right? So so he had said, I had said, I think it's a little early to be planting out in the garden, but we're getting close. And so he said, well, maybe not for if I got some what are the cactus? If I got some cactus are a type of
The succulents?
yes, if I get some
Yeah.
succulents.
Yeah.
And I'll plant a couple of bowls and I'll put them under our gazebo
Right.
and they'll be fine
Right.
out there. And so I said, well, I think it might be even a little too soon because it was still, what was it, Sean?
Yesterday?
Last week.
Colder than a dead bird?
It was still February.
Yes. Colder
And
than
so,
a dead bird.
but, you know, he was anxious. I get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so he went to the nursery, which was awesome. That's a really
Aw.
healthy place for him. His mother was a beautiful, beautiful gardener, and it always brought her such joy. And I think he gets that from
Yeah.
his mom, and
Yeah.
it energizes him. And so I said, well, go and look.
It's like sending Judd to Costco.
Yeah.
Just look.
Go and look. And so he brought home some beautiful succulents, and I said, well, do you think they'll be okay out there? Yeah, under the gazebo they'll be fine.
Right.
And so then he planted them in some pots, and then that night he was like, do you think you could go get those pots and move them in the house? And I said, those pots of succulents that will be fine under the gazebo. And he's like, yeah, I think it might be a little too cold
They might
still.
be. It's
Yeah. So we've
for
moved
them.
those in the house, and they make a beautiful little arrangement in our dining room.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's time. It's
but
just
we are
time.
anxiously awaiting.
Yeah, we're past time. We've had an exceptionally long winter, which I'm not complaining, but yet I am because my seasonal affective disorder is complaining.
Yeah.
Is heavily complaining. But we're used to by now already having flowers planted
Yeah.
and already working in the yards and stuff like that. But
It's soon.
it's going to be
It's
happening
very, very soon.
this weekend for
Yeah.
the race. It's supposed to be in the 50s. The
So
low
what
50s.
is the race this week that Judd will be? Because some of you probably also have races this week, I'm sure, around the country. So,
yes.
and I know my daughter-in-law is coming. My son and daughter-in-law, they're coming
Yay.
the end of the month, the end of March, and
Yeah.
the very first. And she's doing a 5K.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
she's
awesome.
here. Yeah.
That's
So, what
awesome.
race is Judd doing?
So this one he is doing it's a 55K out in Santa Clara.
55K.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That's a lot of miles. It means a lot of miles. It means more than a marathon.
That means
I
that
don't
means
do Ks.
crazy.
It means 55K. Yeah, you're 55 degrees K. I don't remember what it's called. I honestly, because he does so many runs and races that I just know this one is one that he's done in the past several times. It's out of Santa Clara, and Ivans, really, I should say, and they run the cliffs and the trails up all over those mountains where they have the hills where they have the petroglyphs
Yeah.
and barrel roll where people go and do mountain biking. And so his sister, my sister-in-law Martha, and her husband Sean are coming down. Sean is running with Judd, and when Sean and Martha were down here 2 weeks ago, they also decided they were going to do another 100-mile race. So Judd has signed up for another 100-mile race.
Where does that take place?
Well, this particular one is going to be in Arizona.
Wait, didn't that almost like
kill me.
Wasn't it? Yes.
Yeah, it almost killed me. Yeah.
Yes.
It didn't almost kill him, but it almost killed me.
But it was almost your demise.
But it was almost my demise. Yeah.
yeah.
So this particular one is
Well, that'll be the perfect
in
time
Arizona.
to knock out your kitchen.
Except for I have to crew.
Well, that was why it was almost your demise last time.
I get to be the crew, I mean, I don't have much control of him. I don't have control at all. Don't get me wrong with that.
Don't tell anybody that.
Right. But when it comes to those races, the one thing that, at least if I'm crewing, which I've done that in the past, is that at least I know that all the right things are packed that he needs. And so we learned a lot from his last 100
Yeah, so you'll be packing what that you didn't pack last time?
Needle and thread.
So you have to sew something up. You have it?
So no, needle and thread is for when blisters occur. Then you thread them. You put the thread on the needle.
This is going to make me
You
sick.
go in one side of the blister and come out the other side, and you pull the thread through, and you leave the thread through so that it can drain while they continue to
Why
run.
does Judd want to run so that he can get blisters so you can thread them?
I'm sure there's an Uber that will take him 55K
Yeah,
so he doesn't have to
seriously.
walk.
Actually, I would
Honestly.
come get
With
him.
air conditioning.
I would come get
the
him.
55K. The 55K doesn't freak me out like the 100s do. The 100s, his ultimate goal is to do bad water, which is
I can give him bad water right now.
I know.
As soon as this is over, I'll take it to him.
It's true. It's true. Bad water is in July in Death Valley. And you run from the
Nothing
lowest.
sounds good there.
I know. The lowest point on the continental U.S. continent and up to, it used to be to the top of Mount Whitney, which is the highest, but they don't allow them to go all the way to Whitney anymore. So it's 135 miles with the end.
And how many days?
So Judd was a crew for his friend Corey Reese, who did this several years ago. And if I remember correctly, well, Judd's last 100 took 32 hours. So I'm going to say it was like 3 days, 2 nights, or 2 full days and 2 full nights to do the 135. You have to finish within a time period.
Right.
And that's what Judd wants to do. And so you actually have to apply to do bad water. You have to fill out an application. You have to kind of write an essay. You have to talk about these things. You have to have a resume of like several 100 milers that you have successfully completed, AKA you haven't died on the trail somewhere.
So I could intentionally tank my essay and then say, I wanted to do that race, but
they didn't take my
they
didn't
would
make
not
the application.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So there's that. So yeah, so they're at least that's in October when they told me they signed up for this, and they told me it was in Arizona, and then they told me it was still October. I was like, you people are whack, because that's still hot for running.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
Straight through.
Yeah.
There's not sleeping. You don't do sleeping. You do like 15-minute power snaps on the 135. On the 100, he just ran that straight through.
So when is he wanting to do each of these? So that one's in October.
Yeah. So the 55K
is he wanting to do them in the same year?
This weekend. Well, he did the 100
Judd,
a year ago.
my friend, I'm nervous.
Yeah, he did the Zion 100 a year ago, April. And then the Habanero is in Arizona in October.
So he's going to have a pepper.
So he's going to have a hot pepper. Mm-hmm. He and Sean are doing it, which is great because then they can.
This Sean? Our announcer Sean?
Yes, Sean Donovan. Sean Donovan has volunteered.
Whoa. Hold on. Stop. I have 2 issues here. How long have we known each other?
Long enough.
To say my name properly?
Yeah. Wait. Donovan?
Oh, the show's over.
Shutting us down.
Don't make me choke. I thought it was Donovan.
Donovan. There's no
Donovan.
O's in my name. How dare you?
I screwed up.
And as for the running thing, yeah, whatever.
I apologize. Well, you would do great announcing it. You can come and announce it. Or you could just like run along with Judd and announce
How do you even
him.
say Judd's name correctly?
Judson Burkett.
Judson Burkett.
Judson
Yeah.
Burkett.
Judson Burkett.
would.
No. Judson Burkett. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So the 55K, this is just a fun thing that he's doing.
Just a fun thing.
with Sean, our brother-in-law.
Yeah.
And Sean actually paced Judd, a portion of Judd's 100, which is really what got Sean into long distances. So it's a sickness.
It really is.
It's an illness. It's an illness.
Yeah.
So hopefully, the thing that comes from that is that, he reaches the goals that he wants to accomplish and feels, success in that. And I get a motorhome.
I was going to say, there's something else coming here because, you got to be getting something, girlfriend.
Yeah. Last time for the 100, Carrie, our friend, our sweet, sweet Carrie. She's an amazing human being.
Sending you love.
Yep.
Carrie.
Love her. And I love you, Carrie, because she loves my singing.
Ugh, we're so good.
So fantastic.
We're so good.
Anyway, Carrie hauled her fifth wheel up to Zion so that I had, as the crew person, a place to
Hang
pit
out.
stop. Yeah, between the two stops where I could go and first aid Judd. So that's not gonna be an option.
Judd.
And I didn't know about it until that trip. Like we learned about it that trip.
Now you're looking forward to threading him.
Oh yeah, I love that stuff.
Do you just toss it out like, Judd Burkett, you better stop that right now. I'm going to thread you right here and now, right now in this moment. Do you just toss it out in conversation?
I don't, because there has to be a blister involved, a big
but
blister.
you could cause the blister and then thread it at this. I mean, you could do both,
I'd
girl.
have to serious burn him or something. I don't
Yeah.
think I could do that.
But we can talk. So now this time you want a motorhome of your own.
because at the habanero there's only one aid station, so it's a 20-mile loop 5 times. So they'll only come in at this one place 5 different times. That you can crew 5 different times.
Well, who's first aiding the people that ate all the peppers?
Well, those are the people that those people brought with them, because that's the kind of aiding that these long distance runs do. You bring your own aids, and on the bad water, for the bad water, you bring your own crew and you bring your own aid and you bring all your own food and you bring your own ice and you pack it all
Are you
in a
paying
van.
them to run the race?
Yeah.
You're paying them to do that misery.
And here's the funniest thing. Guess what you get for a 100-mile and the 135?
I don't know. You pay them something.
You get a belt buckle.
Oh. Judd will be walking around with his belt buckle.
He actually does have his belt buckle on his belt. But I just think it's funny because it's like that kind of torture for a belt buckle.
I know, but how many belt buckles can you have?
Well, our friend Corey has many.
Does he wear them all at the same time?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think so. But that would be funny.
That might be a personal question.
It would be a personal question. But anyway, so that's a couple of things that are happening at
so
our
you're selling
house.
your
So
boat.
We're selling our boat.
That you have loved taking out onto Lake Powell.
So much. And
but you're selling
so
your
many
boat
memories.
because now it's time for your motorhome.
Yeah, it's time to, now that the boys are off doing their own jams, it's time to adventure in some different ways. And so we need something that we can take the poochies in.
Yeah.
And the poochies hate the water. And we have explored so much of Lake Powell and have loved every minute
That's
of
been
it.
a huge family experience.
Yep.
Huge family memories there.
Yep. And if Judd's been running for so long now that, he wants to do a whole bunch of different runs, and there just has to be a place.
Yeah. So you'll have your
for
motorhome
me
with
and
your
the poochies.
swirly chair and your television,
Well,
your
it's-
antenna that will go up.
It's going to be smaller than that because it's got to be something that I can drive as well. And we all know that I have zero depth perception.
That's a whole new
other
conversation.
topic. Yeah.
So you're going to get a VW van.
No, I have no. Even our boat is bigger than a VW van. I have to have, just this time we have to have a bed that we can both sleep in. So yeah. But anyway, so there's that. But I did want to do a little update before we end here.
Yeah.
our dear friend JJ that we've gotten to know, and we love her so much.
Yes.
She was on our podcast with us several episodes ago, and we all went and did the crochet class.
We
at
should
her
have taken
house.
some pictures to post here.
Well, wait for it.
Oh,
wait for
I
it.
might be ahead of myself.
Wait for it. So I'm so excited. I'm going to do her next class on Wednesday. No, Thursday.
No,
tomorrow.
Thursday.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. To make beanies. I'm so
Yeah.
excited, and I'll teach you guys how to do it. But I have to show. Look at my up on the screen. This
Look at
is
that.
my piece that I
Your
learned
pot
how to-
holder.
Yep.
It's beautiful. Oh, I love the applause.
Yay.
And tomorrow you're
Yep.
doing the beanies.
Yep.
I really want to
I
learn
am.
how to do the beanies
Well,
because I want to do them.
I'm really excited to do it. So her great Etsy business is Desert Whimsy. And I'm going to be going tomorrow and learning how to do the beanies.
She was so fabulous too. I have to
She
tell you,
was.
we went and it was a bunch of Gabby ladies.
Us.
And she was so gracious and so prepared. My issue with going tomorrow is for beanies is that what I've progressed on from the first time I went is like 2 stitches. Is that a problem?
It's not a problem.
That means that if I was doing a beanie, somebody would be wearing a buh. That's not going to keep him very warm.
No, I just really had such a great time with all of us there together. And I mean, you guys know that I've been like dabbling in it because it's one of the things that I've learned. Learning new hobbies is something that's really good for the mind, for brain health.
Yeah.
And so I'd already been dabbling in learning to crochet. And so it was so much fun to go and spend time with everybody and have her instruction.
Yeah.
And so
And her beanies are amazing. Like they're for real. They're not just like
you wouldn't even
they have
they look
texture
like you would buy them at the
and-
store.
yeah.
Labels
I might
on
have to
them.
I might have to move some things and come with you.
I
But
would love it if
I'm
you could
terrible.
just let me know. No, there's no terrible about it, right?
No.
You also
I'm terrible.
You also have about a million other things going on that I
know,
don't.
but that's why
So,
it was great. It was great company. She was so gracious.
yeah, she's awesome.
You know, I
She's
mean, it
awesome.
was just lovely.
She's just such
yeah.
a great. She's so smart and good. So, Desert Whimsy. For all of you that want to take a look at her Insta account,
Yeah,
and
what
just
she offers in
all
terms
the
of
things.
training, but also some of the most beautiful things that she has also crafted that are available. Just beautiful, beautiful items.
Just seriously unbelievable the things that she has created.
Mm-hmm.
So, Sean, do we still have her link on there? I can't figure out how to. Oh, I'm gonna share this with Sean Denovan.
And then applause all around.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
So we're going to share that again.
yeah, if I can
So,
find Sean.
well, one way or the other,
Right.
we'll share it. Again, we want to wish our sweet Patty.
We love you.
Yeah, we love her and anxious for her to join us next time. Shout out to everyone. Hope you have a beautiful March, right?
Yes.
First beginnings of spring. Enjoy your day. Thank you, Miss Jill,
Thank you,
sweet
love.
friend.
Miss you, Patricia.
Talk to you all soon.
guys.
And until then, enjoy a great day
Great
to
day to
talk.
See you. Bye.
Thanks for listening to It's a Great Day to Talk. Be sure to follow and subscribe to us on your favorite podcast platform.
And until next week,
Get out there and talk.
This has been a production from a podcast studio.